This is Chief Peanut Nola 504, and I'm here on a reaction video, and we're going to listen to Africans talk about why they have dislike for American, so-called African American people who are Aboriginal to America.
Think, especially the Black Americans. What do you think of that?
Oh, that's a big one. So I wouldn't say so much that it's that Africans don't like black people. I really believe that there is a misunderstanding between these two sides of a black family. I call the African immigrant, which I am. You're an African American, but it's two different sides of a black family. Us, traditionally, we stayed in the motherland. You have been taken away from the motherland to here. And somewhere in the process, we lost touch of who we are from one another. So I remember when I arrived here, my tendency was to not trust African Americans. It really was, because we get trained back home. I'm just going to talk for myself, but sadly, I think it's a lot the same for many Africans. It's very sad because they're like, oh, these African Americans, they have no culture. And I think what it is because the biggest thing that outside world and other Africans can see of African Americans, we call it this way, but the urban black ghetto culture, that's what
we call it
see.
ghetto here.
That's
Hood rattery.
You know, the confusion of the word African American. Now, you have to understand that many melanated people in America are not Africans. We are the most reclassified people on the planet. We are the most reclassified. There were many freemen that were kicked out of tribes, and they were reclassified as Negro, colored, slave, Afro American, black, mulatto, and then the word African American. So when we listen to tethers tell us who we are in this land, and we're going to let her talk, but we have to give understanding to people to understand that this new generation has been fooled to believe that these people of color in America all came from slave ships.
I mean, that's what we see. But the problem, I think where we went wrong is that not understanding it's not representative of the rest of the black American culture. And so when you see the behavior of a minority being presented to you as if it is the behavior of a majority, then you tend to think that this is what the majority is.
I have to stop her. When did any African tribe ever call themselves black? The word black means dead. And the only time that you use black is in America in a derogatory way. White was always deemed as positive. Black was always deemed as hopeless, sad. In Africa, they view themselves by their tribes. They don't view themselves by being called black, Negro, or colored. So when have Africans started to call themselves black?
And so a big bad stereotype was created there. And definitely for me it was as well. So our parents are like, be careful of these people. They're violent. They're scary. They don't like to study and all of that. That's pretty much what we're told about African Americans. So it took for me to come to this country and to be dealing with everyday African Americans to be like, wait, what? And then even myself start to see for myself, oh, okay, there is definitely this urban black ghetto culture that they're talking about, but there is also all of these other African Americans, millions and millions of them, leading and running amazing lives, raising families, building businesses, being
African ghetto culture. Wow. Wow. Black culture. America culture is black culture. Whatever you see in America when it comes to soul food, when it comes to music, when it comes to sports, when it comes to inventions, it's black culture. Black culture in America is nothing but America. Everything that is black is America. So when she says these things, it's just she does not have the knowledge of America. America, everything when it comes to the backs of so-called slaves in America, it's black culture. Because YT people does not have that culture. Everything that acts when we talk about greatness of America, it's melanated people. We talk about music, jazz, we talk about the style. Everybody follows the culture of melanated people. So I don't know what you're saying, lady.
Great professionals. I mean, I didn't expect that. And so for me, that's what it took to change my mind. So I think, especially the music industry, is what has caused a lot of problem, as well as Hollywood.
The music industry. We ask you all the time, where did we follow you in the music industry? Where are your superstars? Where are your Michael Jacksons? Where are your Prince? Where are your Whitney Houstons? Where are your Aretha Franklins? When you say that Africa is the motherland, we like to say America is the grandmother's land.
Also has caused a lot of problems in terms of sending the stereotypes to the outside world. And then conversely, I think Hollywood and just the media in general has done a very good job also of depicting the other side of a black family to you guys. I mean, when I first came to this country, I had some African Americans who were asking me if I had pet lions, and also how did I get to this country? Because they think we don't even get on planes or anything like that. This was the first time, I was asked some of these questions, or people making some of these remarks, and also them thinking that same thing. They're thinking that we're these extremely poor people. It's one thing to be poor, but them also thinking we're these ignorant people who don't have access to education or anything like that. We eat weird.
I don't think there's anybody that think that Africans or as a whole is a poor continent. I don't think that everybody thinks that they're uneducated. What we do realize is Africans capitalize off of American black people who are the foundation of this country. And we have watched you guys come to HBCUs, utilize the system that we built in this country due to civil rights. We watch you come in here and you will come here and get your degrees. You will come here and get. I can't go over to South America and get me a Nelson Mandela scholarship, but you can come here and get a Martin Luther King scholarship. You have to understand the differences of you guys coming here, evolving, becoming great in building Africa. You guys flee Africa and you guys are not building America at the same time. You won't see American blacks flee America and go to Africa. That's two totally different things.
Things and all of that. So we've basically been told the same thing about each other by the same people.
Yeah.
And so when I discovered that, it was a big awakening for me. And that's when I started.
Once again, we have to stop as a melanated people blaming YT people. Blaming YT people. Saying that they're the same enemy, that they are the problem, they're keeping us down. White people are not the people that's keeping us down. When you look at statistically some of the damages that we do to us, unaliving us, I am so tired of dark-skinned people across every nation blaming YT people, giving them the power to say that you are keeping us down. Most of the times, we are keeping us down. Most of the times, the violence that we do to us, and that in America was established with Jim Crow, not just the dislike of us, the disadvantages that we have with us, okay? Teaching us to hate us. And a little bit of that goes to YT people for coming up with Jim Crow laws. But we got to stop with this stuff. And what's going on in Africa, in Congo, and what's going on in America, It's totally different types of entities that have happened. The same people that has colonized Africa has colonized America. But what I ain't going to do is keep blaming these same people for the structures. We all have to be responsible for the things that we do to us.
Started myself going towards more African Americans, and also actually also started going towards more people who were supposedly part of a community that is called the Black urban ghetto culture, and then trying to really understand what's going on over there. And I've had some amazing friends who come from that side of the community. So to answer your question, I was raised to not like and to not trust and to not value African Americans, but the reality of just being here, being with African Americans, made me realize this is all a lie. Talking about lies, when you make it that how a minority behaves is the way the majority behaves, you might be right about how that minority behaves. It's true. But if you want to make it the truth about the whole thing, you lied. And so
She's absolutely telling the truth. She was raised in her beliefs that black people in America are lazy. Right then and there, that tells people that black people in America does not have work ethic, that you can come over here and capitalize off of because based upon your work ethic that you are more valued. Black people are lazy and ghetto. That's the things that she was taught. And I love her honesty. She's pure, she's honest. She was able to come over here to America to see the differences. The structure, the system is teaching immigrants that black people are lazy, and the structure is teaching that we are not or going to be civilized. So I can only, like, to be honest with you, praise her on her honesty.
that's what I discovered. And I'm not proud to say it, but I have to be honest, when you ask me the question, I used to be, I think, a bigot towards African Americans and wanting nothing to do with them because I was fearful for my own life when it came to them. Just come to understand, as all groups, you have a subset who doesn't do good things and doesn't behave a certain way, but that shouldn't be an indictment on the rest of the community.
There is this law.
Why would you be fearful on your life? Did you hear what she said? As a melanated woman, why would she think that we would be the fear? As a melanated woman, why would she think that we would be the one that she feared? Not the YT person who has been colonizing Africa, not the Asian person who has been colonizing Africa, but she fears us. Us. Do you see how diabolical that is? And this is why we go through what we go through on TikTok, social media, because these people been taught a certain way. She fears us, but don't fear the YT people who colonized her. It just can't. You can't make this up. You guys make sure y'all subscribe to Cheap Peanut Notifiable Folk. Also, hit the bell. I need more likes. I need more shares. Also, follow me on TikTok. Remember that I'm on X. Remember, I'm on Instagram. We want to get them likes up. And we're going to aggressively teach people about why we're the most hated, unliked people on the planet.